So Errol Spence Jr. was bigger than Terence Crawford, stronger than Terence Crawford, while they were in the same weight class. But Canelo Alvarez isn't. Y'all don't understand what I'm trying to say? I'm gonna repeat the question. I want this to sink in. So Errol Spence is the bigger fighter, stronger fighter. When Terence Crawford and him shared the same division, 147 pounds, welterweight division, right? They were in the same weight class. But they were compared in weight to each other before they fought. Errol Spence was bigger, naturally bigger, stronger than Terence Crawford. They was in the same division. But Canelo Alvarez isn't bigger than Terence Crawford. Huh, band up? Band up, I want to tell you something right now. I would love for you to put that question, because that is a really good question, bro. Yo, bro, that's one of the best questions that I've seen in a long time, bro. Seriously. If you would put that in the super chat, band up, even for $1.99, you can even cash at me, $1.99. Because the reason why I say this is when you super chat, I'm going to put that on the screen. Because I think people need to really understand that there is an answer to your question. But I want them to see what your question is first, band up. And the only way I can be able to do that and put that on the screen, and if there's a super chat, you know how we do. That's a really good question, band up. I really want to see if we can find the answer to that. Because that's really, I don't even know how to even tell you. That's an awesome question. Let me see. Let me check the Cash App and see if Band Up sent $1.99. Let's see if he sent that. Let me see. Because I know he's about to send it. Because I got to put that question on the screen. That's just a great question. I mean, I could put it up on the screen now and wait, but we got to listen, the air fryer has to go up. It's only at 350 degrees. We got to heat the air fryer up. Band up. Man, that question right there. That's a really good question, Band up, seriously. And the live audience at home that's not able to see that question, I'm sure they might want to know the answer. Man, that's crazy right there. Oh, air fryer just jumped up, 375. Double salute. Double salute to Ty Drakeford again. She spent the block in the super chat. Thank you again, Ty. Ty says, towards answering Band Up question. And then Band Up's question is this. Double salute to Band Up. Thank you so much, my brother. We got to get the air fryer up. We just have to, because the people came for entertainment and education. Band Up asked a great question. One of the best questions I've seen from an audience member in a long time. Band Up says in the super chat, how do we know if Errol Spence was bigger and or stronger? How do we know if Errol Spence was bigger? How do we know that? I mean, that, good God almighty, that's really a good question. Even Isaiah WYD even asked the question, and double salute to Isaiah WYD. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. And Isaiah, look, he heated the air fryer up 400 degrees. Isaiah says this, how do we know EJ was bigger? That was the question that Band Up asked, and Isaiah followed up with it. Thank you for the support from Band Up and Ty, and of course, Isaiah. And then we have my guy, double salute to him, GM, always coming through with the support. Thank y'all for y'all contributions and your support. And then GM said in the super chat for Band Up. For air fryer purposes. That's what Isaiah just said. Now that's so good. Let me put Band Up's question on the screen because I know a lot of people want to know the answer to that. I think I found it too, actually. How do we know that Errol Spence was bigger than Terence Crawford? I mean, how do we know that? I'm talking about before they fought. Before Terence Crawford fought Errol Spence, how do we know that? Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
I've got all the respect in the world for both Earl and Derek. And now on to your question about that is a very tough call. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I like both guys. Terence has got tremendous skills. He's really got the dog factor too that I like. But I think Earl's got the dog factor going for him too. He's a little more reserved about it. But I think one thing we learned about Earl is, like they say, don't be talking smack against the high school football team that you're getting ready to play, because they'll take everything that you say and post it up on the locker room. They'll do nothing but fire them up. I think that Earl was highly motivated and came in there and did a great job. And we'll have to see how, if and when they fight, how the build-up goes. But I would say it's a 50-50 fight. I mean, I respect both guys. I think they're both tremendous fighters, and I want that fight to really see, who is the pound-for-pound number one. I think that Earl's the bigger guy. He's always been a 47, but I really think he's a 54.
So my question to you, and I think this is the question that most fans would have. If Crawford doesn't drink, which we know, if he doesn't smoke, which we know, if he's a gym rat, meaning that he stays in the gym actively and he keeps his body in shape 24/7, way before he got with Conti, my question to you as his best friend, knowing him, why do you think that he went over to Victor Conti to get any type of improvements if everything he's been doing in the past 36 fights up until this point, or 37 fights in his case before he went to Victor Conti, was right? They've been doing a nice streak, him and Bomac and the team, Bernie and those guys over there. Why would you think he would go over there with Conti to improve anything if everything's been working out of 37 fights?
Well, obviously he's going up against, I think, what the boxing world was saying, a bigger fighter, a bigger, stronger fighter. So, I mean, I think, like you said, snack does work.
Band Up, did you hear that? I can play it all again. Band Up, did you heard what Victor Conti said, Band Up? Did you hear what LC, one of Terence Crawford's close friends, said when he came up to talk to me? Did you hear that? I want to make sure Band Up heard that, because I know everybody else probably did. I want to make sure your question get answered. How do we know if Errol was bigger, stronger than Terence Crawford? I wanted to make sure that you did hear that. I want to play that last piece again, because this ties into Canelo Alvarez with Terence. I'm glad you heard that, Ben. Let me put it on the screen so people can identify with the fact that you did answer my question. Yes, you heard with me. Play that last part where Victor Conti said. Hold on 1 second. I want to cue that last piece up. Roll the tape.
I've got all the respect in the world for both Earl and Derek. And now on to your question about that is a very tough call. I think it's a 50-50 fight. I like both guys. Terence has got tremendous skills. He's really got the dog factor, too, that I like. But I think Earl's got the dog factor going for him, too. He's a little more reserved about it. But I think one thing we learned about Earl is, like they say, don't be talking smack against the high school football team that you're getting ready to play, because they'll take everything that you say and post it up on the locker room. They'll do nothing but fire them up. I think that Earl was highly motivated and came in there and did a great job. And we'll have to see how, if and when they fight, how the build-up goes. But I would say it's a 50-50 fight. I mean, I respect both guys. I think they're both tremendous fighters, and I want that fight to really see, who is the pound-for-pound number one. I think that Earl's the bigger guy.
When did Victor say all of this? Let's put that date back on the screen for the people that are watching live and living in color, and the replay of this live, watching the screen. I know some people are driving, some people might be at work, and you can't see your screen, so I am going to actually vocalize the date so that you can hear it. And Victor Conte said those words, March the 27th, 2019. March 27th, 2019. That's when ES News posted this interview that they conducted with Victor Conte. This was literally in 2019, if my math serves me correctly. That's about, 6 years ago? Now, we know that Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fought in 2023, right? Yeah. Yeah. That was in 2019, though, when Victor Conte said that. I mean, that's what he said. I mean, you also heard him say in that same interview that Errol Spence is the bigger fighter. You also heard Victor Conte say that it is a 50-50 fight. 50-50, meaning it could go either way. Meaning Terence Crawford can win, meaning Errol Spence can win. I mean, both guys have a 50% chance of winning. I mean, that's what Victor Conte said 6 years ago in 2019, which was literally 2 years prior to Terence Crawford going over there with Victor Conte in the snack protocol, the snack program. So I'm just trying to figure out if Errol Spence was the bigger fighter against Terence Crawford before they fought. And they're in the same weight class. How come Canelo Alvarez is not the bigger, stronger fighter? I'm just asking questions. These are questions that I think about when I'm driving, when I'm just chilling, relaxing. I think about a lot of questions. That's why I have thought-provoking talking points. I'm just trying to figure that out. I mean, the guy that Terence Crawford is working with now, Victor Conte, even he said before, before Terence Crawford got on the phone and called him, 2 years before Crawford called his phone and asked to come over and work with Snack, he said it's a 50-50 fight. Let me ask the audience a quick question, and anybody can answer this in the chat. Please, let's get some engagement going. In July of 2023, when Terence Crawford fought Errol Spence, was it a 50-50 fight to y'all? I mean, I didn't see 50-50, and I was actually at the fights. Me personally, I was there. And from what I saw, it didn't look like 50-50 to me. I'm talking about what I saw. You know, I wear glasses, so, you know, somebody can say I'm blind or whatever, but I mean, I did have my glasses on that night. My sunglasses that I was wearing had my prescription in there. But I'm just telling you what I saw. It didn't look like a 50-50 fight to me. And it didn't look like a 50-50 fight to a couple of people that's in the chat right now telling me no, because they're answering the question that I have. So I'm just trying to figure out what changed. That's what I'm really getting at. Let's get right into it now. So what changed between Victor Conte and his perspective, right, in 2019, 2 years before Terence Crawford goes to his program, the SNAC program, to 2023 when Terence Crawford actually fought Errol Spence and was already actively on the SNAC program. I just try to figure out what changed in between 2019 and 2023. What changed? What changed? Because Victor Conte said 2 years before Terence Crawford called him, hey, Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence is a 50-50 fight. And then 2 years later, Terence Crawford joins the SNAC program and Victor Conte. And then 2 years later after that, in 2023, Terence Crawford fights Errol Spence, and it wasn't even a 50-50 fight. I mean, it looked like it was 90%, 10%. 90% to Terence Crawford, 10% chance of winning for Errol Spence. I'm just trying to figure out what in between, you know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because right now, it don't seem like people are treating this fight with Canelo Alvarez as if Canelo Alvarez is naturally bigger and stronger than Terence Crawford. I wonder why that is. Y'all don't understand where I'm getting at? Okay, before Terence Crawford fought Errol Spence, before Terence Crawford goes over to the SNAC program with Victor Conte, people, and even Victor Conte himself, said this is a 50-50 fight and says, I think that Errol Spence is the bigger fighter. He said, let me quote him correctly. He said, I think Errol is the bigger, stronger fighter. LC comes on to the podcast to talk to me 2 months after the fight. And I asked him, well, why did, in your opinion, as his friend, why do you think Terence Crawford went over and called Victor Conte? Why did he go to the SNAC program? And even he said, I think because the boxing world kept saying that Errol Spence is the bigger fighter. So is that why people not really treating Canelo Alvarez as the bigger fighter right now? I mean, everybody seems to be anticipating this fight between Crawford and Canelo. I mean, I know he's jumping up multiple weight classes, but I don't hear a lot of outrage. In other words, man, I don't think this is a safe fight for Crawford. It's not a safe bet for him. I mean, he's going up against a guy who walks around probably 180 plus pounds. I mean, the guy's just naturally stronger and bigger than Bud. I don't know if he stands a chance. Maybe it's a 50-50 fight. I don't hear people talking about that. And I wonder why. Hey, I don't know if this has something to do with it. Go and look at your screen. I don't know if this has something to do with it. Go and look at your screen now. I don't know. That's why I'm asking y'all what y'all think.